All right. All right, everybody, what's up? Good evening. I hope everybody is enjoying their weekend. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying smart. Oh, why don't I see my screen? Not sure why my screen is black right now, guys. You guys see a black screen right now? You gotta be kidding me. Let me see what's going on here, guys. Completely black. Let's try. Let's try to redo this, guys. I had some troubles last week too with our live stream, and now I've got a completely black screen. Yeah, I know, guys. I don't know why my screen is all black right now. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna try to get this worked out. We just lost. There we go. Okay, Jesus, guys, I'm not sure what that was. We're back. We're back. Jesus, guys, I don't know what the hell's going on with this connection to YouTube. This is 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, I've had issues. 2 weeks in a row, I've had issues here. But we're here now. What's up, guys? Sorry about the little technical difficulties when we first kind of got things started. I do apologize. Man, we lost a lot of people jumped off already. But for those of you that stuck around the extra 5 minutes that it took me to get things going, I'm glad you guys are here with us. I've got the one and only Wolf of Weed Street, Jason Spatafora, guys. I've got him on the audio connection with me as well. Jason, say what's up to the crew.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
You can give him a little bit more enthusiasm than that, Jason.
Sorry, I'm just getting everything dialed in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to get going.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We got a good one tonight, guys. Jason and I are going to be going over with you our game plans and our watch list going into this week. We kind of have a really interesting situation right now. I got to be honest with you guys. When I decided to do the live stream this morning with Jason, we were, kind of going over our game plans for the upcoming week and where we think we're going to see some opportunity. Are we going to be long biased or are we going to be short biased on specific sectors and specific names? And if you guys did not see over the weekend, we had some breaking news regarding oil. Okay, oil had last week two of its biggest single day jumps in history last week, about last week was actually the biggest jump that we've seen ever in one day in the price of oil. And that was because Trump had come out, he had spoken to Putin, and they had decided that Russia was going to cut production by 10 million barrels a day, which is significant. And that would stabilize the price of oil, get oil to start to recover a little bit. And they were setting a meeting and a phone call with Saudi Arabia and Russia. Over the weekend, though, um, things did not go as planned. There was supposed to be an OPEC meeting tomorrow that was rescheduled and pushed back to, I believe, on Thursday now. And the people that are very close to the situation said that that whole exchange between Russia and Saudi Arabia did not go well. Um, so once that news kind of broke that those talks kind of had broken down, you saw oil just you knew the oil futures that you know that they were going to take a hit. They're down about 7.5% right now. Crude oil futures, um, a big gap down, and I'm actually going to be looking for a lot of opportunity in the oil sector this week. Um, I think that I'm of the belief that we are going to see oil recover. I do think China. I'm so used to talking about China with this damn COVID-19. Excuse me. So I do think Russia and Saudi Arabia are going to be able to come to some type of an agreement. OPEC is going to get something done. There's going to be a coordinated effort to cut production. Saudi Arabia, Russia will cut production. The outlier here, though, is that Russia really wants the United States to cut production as well. Um, and the US shale companies do not want to. Trump actually met with a couple of the oil executives last week at the White House, and they were discussing possible production cuts. And not all of the US oil company CEOs are on board with that. Um, not all of them are on board with that. You have to understand those companies cannot tolerate lower priced oil. Um, most US companies can't tolerate 25 $30 barrel oil. Saudi Arabia and Russia can handle that for far longer than the US can. The US has a much higher cost of production. It costs those US shale companies and fracking and that whole structure. It's just not economically feasible at 25, 30, $35 oil. You need oil back up 40s and 50s in order for that to even make that business model even to make sense for US companies. Now, Russia and Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, can produce oil at far cheaper prices. So it makes sense for them. Um, so we have to see really what happens. But I do think that the US companies are going to play ball because if they don't, they're going out of business. So it's kind of like you guys really don't have a choice. It's either cut or run the risk of dealing with $25 oil for the foreseeable future, and you go out of business in a few months. They're literally losing money um, getting oil out of the ground. It costs them more than they can actually sell it for. Not to mention everyone with this low demand for oil, there's nowhere to store oil, and it's becoming a really big problem. So I do think something happens this week with oil. I do think that we will have an opportunity to buy some oil stocks and actually go long a couple of names. There's one individual stock I like for a swing trade. There's another stock that I love for a long-term portfolio hold, and I'll explain to you guys why. Um, and then we're going to talk about the transportation sector. We're going to talk about airlines. Warren Buffett dumped millions of airline shares over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to talk to you guys about that, what that means for the airline sector, which signal, what sign does that send the rest of the market? What could he be doing? I'm going to tell you what I think his next move is. Jason can talk about a couple of cannabis names. Some people were asking us questions about that. And Jason has some really good ideas on some real estate inverse ETFs. So we have a lot of variety that we're going into next week with. Um, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my game plan, what stocks are on my watch list, and what I plan on doing. And if the stocks do X, I'm going to do Y as a cause and effect. And Jason will go over that with it as well. So we're gonna have a pretty good live stream here tonight. We've got nothing else to do. Okay, nobody's got anywhere to be. That's for sure. So we're gonna keep these live streams going, guys. I'm gonna open up the floor for a blanket Q&A section as I start all of these live streams off. We're gonna do a Q&A for the first, I don't know, I'd say maybe for about 20, 30 minutes. We'll take a couple of questions. or I'll take maybe like 10 or 15 questions from people, um, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll start to get into the watch list and the stocks that we're going to be paying attention to. So go ahead, guys, fire away. We're going to spend the first couple of minutes. Um, we're going to spend the first couple of minutes, okay, of the live stream. Give some people some time to log on. So go ahead, guys, just fire away. Ask some questions in chat. You can direct it either to myself or Jason, and we'll answer as many of your questions as we can for just a few moments, and then we'll get into our watch list and our game plan. So go ahead, guys, fire away. Um, Bilbo Bro asks, "Am I looking at small cap energy stocks?" I will be. I will be this week. Um, you're going to get a lot of small cap energy stocks are going to get there probably won't be in play tomorrow with the gap down, but once you get the news headline like Thursday and Friday when Trump was talking about he spoke to Putin, they're talking about a 10 million barrel per day cut in production. You saw a lot of the small cap energy stocks gap up, like CEI was one of them that just comes to mind. That was an oil and gas company that gapped up on that news. When we do get some headline from Russia, Saudi Arabia, OPEC that there is an agreed on production cut, then I absolutely will be looking at small cap energy stocks. I will expect to see 3, 4, 5 of them gap up on that news. And then you'll see a couple of them put out press releases with that as well. And that can give you possibly a momentum trade in small cap energy stocks. So I don't have one in particular, Bill Bro, that I am going to be looking at, but it is a sector that I will look at when we do get that headline. Okay. I'm not going to try to force trades in them. I'm not going to try to, buy stocks now, expecting that news headline, looking for a gap up in a swing trade. I'm going to wait for those stocks to gap up and give me that news once I get an actual news headline, because until we get that headline, those stocks are going to be dead money. Joe Canada says, Mike, what if I held oil over the weekend? Do I sell at the open and buy back lower or hold for the week? Um, Joe, I would say maybe just hold for the week. The worst thing that can happen is if you sell at the open and then oil starts to actually move higher in anticipation of a deal getting done, and then a deal gets done and you never get back in. Um, I would say if you're still in it, after this gap down, I don't think the news is going to get worse from here. So I think this gap down on oil could be near the lows that we're going to get this week, unless they don't meet on Thursday. If the OPEC and Russia, if that meeting is canceled, then oil is going way lower. Okay, or you can see oil at $15, $10 a barrel if that meeting gets canceled. Um, a very close friend of mine that was one of the biggest oil traders for Trafigura. Trafigura is one of the largest commodity traders um, in the world. They trade physical commodities. Like they'll trade electronically, but they'll also trade physical raw crude barrels. They'll actually trade physical commodities. Um, and he told me that he thinks that he thinks that you can see oil get to $5 to $10 a barrel if there's not a deal done. So is there more downside in the price of crude? Absolutely, there certainly could be if that meeting is canceled. Um, but I'm voting on the side of that I think a deal does get done, but it's very possible that it doesn't. That's why I'm not positioning myself ahead of it. Because if that meeting doesn't happen on Thursday, you'll see oil collapse for 3 days straight, most likely, and take you down into the teens. So that's why I'm not buying stocks now ahead of that, but it is something that I will be paying very close attention to. BS Walker says, "Are we going to see a retest in lows in your opinion around the 218 mark on SPY? Any thoughts as to why the futures are up significantly lately? Markets seem to be moving with oil, but oil is down." Honestly, great observation. So I'll start with your first question, which is, do I think we see a retest of the lows? My answer is yes, I do think we see a retest of lows. I just do not think it's going to happen in a panic fashion. The panic selling I think is over with. Um, the panic came out of the market in March. Now you're going to get reality setting in. You're seeing the VIX is down tremendously. The VIX is down 6-7%. If you've been following the TVIX or anything like that, the leverage ETFs tracking the VIX are all getting pummeled. Even though the SPY was down 1.5% on Friday, the TVIX was down like 7 or 9%, something like that. So the TVIX took a big hit on Friday, even though the SPY was red. SPY was we finished down 1.5%, and the TVIX and the VIX were still negative. So volatility is slowing down. You're not getting 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 point moves in the markets anymore. You're getting some regular trading. We're getting back to regular trading activity, which is we're moving a few hundred points rather than a couple thousand points in a single day. Can we get back to that volatility? We could. I don't think that we're going to see that the same type. I don't think you're going to see another 2,500 point day. I don't think you're going to see that for an extremely long time. I think those days of the markets moving 10, 11% in a single day, I think that's behind us um, as reality sets in with the virus. And now the headlines that will move the markets will be economic related. Listening to how many cases there are in New York City every day and how many deaths there are in New Jersey every day and how many ventilators there are now. Like, listen to those headlines literally every single day. It's like, okay, we get it. There's going to be more cases every day. There's going to be more deaths every day. We got that. The market has accepted that as reality. That's why, even though the numbers of cases were increasing and the deaths were increasing the prior week, the markets were actually bouncing back because of stimulus and quantitative easing. So that is priced into the market. Now it's going to come to a matter of what's the economic damage, and we've got earnings coming out. Okay, so now you're really going to get a feel for what do major corporations think about the impact this is going to have on the earnings, because now they're going to come out with earnings and they're going to come out with guidance. Now the guidance, everybody knows it's going to be absolutely terrible. Okay, the guidance on these earnings reports are going to be horrendous. Okay, Q2, Q3, it's going to be terrible, their guidance. But you really want to look for year-end guidance. What is their year-end guidance telling you? Because that will dictate how deep of an impact economically CEOs expect to hit their companies and their businesses. If their year end estimates are not that bad, then that means they expect things to start to improve Q3, Q4, which is good. But if their year end guidance is still horrendous, that means they don't expect things to really improve until 2021, and then you can basically just wash 2020 off the table. And that will dictate, I think, if the low is in or if we're going lower. If companies start coming out with guidance that shows a recovery starting in Q3, Q4, then our low is in. The 218 low on the SPY is in. If you see the bulk of companies coming out, obviously some companies can be more affected than others. Okay, you have to think about cyclicals. You have to think about what companies benefit from this type of stuff, like Amazon, Walmart, like companies like that are not going to be Pepsi, like Coca-Cola. Those companies are not going to be as affected by this as obviously airlines, cruise lines, hotels, casinos, restaurant industry. Those are all going to be, retail, obviously pummeled. So those sectors are obviously going to be worse, but you're going to want to look for the ones that are hit the worst and see what do their guidance look like. Because if their guidance shows improvement Q3, Q4, then our low is in. If their guidance tells you that Q4 is still going to be a disaster, then we're going lower. And that's what I think. So I have already added to some of my long-term portfolio. I'll cover that with you guys again later in this live stream. I'll talk to you guys about my long-term portfolio, what companies I have added to already. I'll go over that with you. I get a lot of questions about that. I'll talk to you guys about what companies I've added. You can ask Jason as well what companies that he's added to his long-term portfolio, and then we'll go from there. But that's kind of what I think about where we go from here and if that low is in. So I hope that helps answer your question. What else? Let's see. Yeah. So big Um, says, wouldn't a big tumble towards 210 levels in a span of 2 to 3 days have an inverse effect on the volatility, though? Well, it's not that that would have an inverse effect on volatility. Volatility would create that move. Um, you guys have to understand what the VIX actually is. That as the VIX goes higher, that's traders telling you that we think the market is going to make a large move. And the higher the VIX goes, the larger the average move traders expect in a single day. So like when the VIX is over 80, that's basically telling you traders are saying that the SPY in any given day will move 5, 6, 7% in a single day. That's like max level volatility. And then you'll get, obviously we move 10, 11% on like 2 or 3 days. And that's like max volatility. As volatility comes back down, it doesn't mean traders think, like as the VIX comes down, that doesn't mean that traders think that the stock market's not going to go lower. It just means that traders think the moves are going to be less extreme. And that's what I think we're going to have happen here. This reminds me a lot of 2008. 2008, this is when I was working at the hedge fund. I was at the hedge fund in 2008. That was when I won Trader of the Year, mostly because I was short all the financials. I was short banks, insurance companies. I was short the overall financial sector. And that's really what won me Trader of the Year when I was at the hedge fund in 2008. But the price action was similar in the sense that you had panic for about a month. Panic, complete and utter panic, like you saw in this month of March. That was 2008. But in 2009, we went lower. The bottom was put in 2009. But the VIX didn't go anywhere near as high as it did in 2008 because it was a much slower move down. It was more of a methodical move lower, if that makes sense, rather than a complete panic rush sell-off where the market's down 8% in a single day. We didn't have that in 09. It was more of a slower move to the downside. And if we do go lower, that's the type of move I think it will be. If the year-end guidance is still horrendous. All right, let's see a couple other questions here. Yeah, that double peak in the VIX in 2008, you saw the same thing. You saw the same thing with the VIX this year. We double peaked. Just look at the TVIX. The TVIX is the best way to look at it. I take you guys to a daily chart of the TVIX. There's your double top. There's your double top right there. Bang. The TVIX is not going to get back to 1,000. Okay, even if we go to 200 on the SPY, the TVIX is not going to get back to 1,000 because, like I said, max fear is out of the market already. All right, what else? Let's see. Next question. Sarah Kane wants to know, do I see a scenario where the market completely bounces back versus going down? No, I do not. No, I do not, Sarah. I do not believe the market will just snap right back. I think there's actually a 0% chance of that happening. If anybody thinks that we're just going to V bottom and we're going to go right back, so I'll take you guys to a chart of the SPY. If anybody thinks that within the next 2 months the SPY is just going to do this, you're dreaming. It's not going to happen. I, for one, think that we're going to see a elongated bear market where we put in a very long U bottom that takes us, I think realistically, it takes us, I think it's going to be at least 3 years before you're even thinking about saying 30,000 on the Dow. I think it's going to be at least 3 years before you're thinking about saying 30,000 on the Dow. But I think over the next 1 to 2 years, I think you'll get in the overall markets, I think you get this slower type of recovery. And I think over the next full year, you'll be able to really get some good long-term buys as the market just kind of figures out and deals with really terrible earnings. That's what you guys really have to be ready for. You have to be ready for multiple quarters of horrendous earnings. And as long as those earnings, Q2 earnings are going to be such a disaster, you're going to see companies probably show 50% decline in revenues. Like it's going to be crazy, but the market knows that's coming. So, even if that's not a panic sell, it's certainly not going to be a panic buy. And the market's not just going to go right back. The SPY is not just going to go right back to 320, 340. It's going to take us time for us to get back to 330, 340 on the SPY. I think it's going to be a couple years before we get back to that level. But that just means that it gives us really good opportunities to add to our long-term portfolios.
Yeah, let me say something. You have to look at some of these companies, especially the ones that we know that are going to be here in 10 years. Look at them as like athletes that like break their leg. Okay. Yeah, we know that they'll heal. It was anybody could survive a leg break, but there's going to be a lot of rehab, a lot of work to get back to that 100% level.
Yep.
And it's still not a given that all of these companies are going to survive. In 2008, not all the banks survived, but what happened? The bigger banks swallowed up the smaller banks for pennies on the dollar. So we're going to see a lot of that, which can speed up the process of a recovery and make these companies that much stronger when they do come back.
Yeah, I agree. Guy, I mean, that's a really good analogy, actually, Jason. That's a really good analogy. Just kind of talking about how that's a really good analogy. A star athlete, think about a star running back tears his ACL. Yeah, he might come back, but it's going to take time to rehab that. Really, you guys can't hear Jason? I mean, I hear him. I hear him fine. Some of you say you hear him fine. Some of you say you have a hard time hearing him. And he's just on an audio link. It's not. I don't have him on video. Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Is that any better?
A couple people said it's fine, Jason. Yeah.
Okay. I saw a question about Canopy before.
Oh shoot, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, good, Jason. Go ahead. Take a question.
So the question was, is now the time to get into Canopy? And if you're asking that, you're basically asking, is now the time to get long pot stocks? Look, everybody knows that I'm the biggest bull in pot stocks, but I'm not necessarily running to the door to buy pot stocks. I don't think it's time to get long. The scenario that has played out since 2014 is still intact. We get a little push mid-March, which we just got, and then a fade. These things are going to continue to be choppy. Liquidity is going to continue to lead the market. In Canada, they just made dispensaries non-essential. Okay, so all the ordering is going to have to go online. Look, the LPs in Canada were already in trouble as it stood. Yes, people were rushing and buying a lot of weed, but that doesn't change the fact that in 2017, 2018, they were overspending. So, there's still a lot of danger there. Is Canopy one of the better companies that can survive it? Yeah, of course. Look, they've got a big sugar daddy in Constellation Brands, but still, I think that they have like the third most money in terms of months till they run out of money. I believe they have something in the order of 18 months of cash. To give you an idea, Kronos has 120 months of cash. Tilray has 22. Afria has somewhere in that range. Aurora, on the other hand, has about 2 months of cash left.
Wow.
Companies like Supreme Pharmaceuticals, which is just dead now. I mean, it's like a 20-cent stock, has enough cash for 5 months. um, it's not going to change. Like this bump, yeah, you're going to see a bump in sales, and this was expected. This was always going to happen as more dispensaries open. But if you're looking to invest in the space, you want to be focused on the United States, not Canada, because Canada, there's so many variables that have to come into play for them to recapture that. And honestly, for most of the people that I talk to when I do a lot of these, 1 hour mentor sessions with people that sign up for ETG, a lot of you guys are holding, you know, stock that you're 80% down on. You're not going to see a recovery, you know.
Yeah.
But there's companies in the United States that I really like. I really like TrueLeaf. I really like Joe. Would I buy them now? No. And the reason being, they've got massive share unlocked, and they don't have the liquidity right now as it stands to support the amount of stock coming into the market. Does that mean I'm a bear on the market? Yeah, I guess you'd say I'm net short right now. But I think that the summer will be a different story. That doesn't mean I'm going to rush to the Canadian companies. I think they will benefit from the U.S. companies. But you want to have Leaf and TrueLeaf have their share unlocked. You will see like Green Thumb Industries, good companies like Cresco Labs, all riding coattails of companies like TrueLeaf. And look, TrueLeaf has earnings next week, I believe, and they're going to crush it. And I fully anticipate that gets sold. So I think the bear market will be over for pot stocks, but closer to September, October. And that's really just my whole position. I mean, Aurora, I don't know why anybody would touch it. They have 870 million liabilities, and they're going to have to reverse split, and nobody likes a reverse split. So there's your short kind of answer.
Yeah. That's really, really, really good information, Jason. I'm the same way, guys. I don't, I'm a long-term bull on the cannabis market, just like Jason, but I'm not buying anything right now. I want to buy the U.S. companies. I'm staying away from the Canadian companies. There's just still a lot of hurdles. I think there's a little bit more blood to be squeezed out of the industry, and the U.S. still has a lot of legislative hurdles and regulatory hurdles that it needs to get through before the industry is really ever able to blossom, pun intended, into what Jason and I both think that the industry can become. Guys, believe me, like once Jason thinks, that's how Jason, kind of got. I call he's Twitter famous, but that's how he, Jason was one of the very first and most successful traders in the cannabis industry in 2013 and 2014 when the boom kind of really first took on a life. And when it's time to start to sink our teeth into these cannabis companies, Jason and I will definitely let you guys know when we are doing so. But I'm not doing it right now, and nor is he.
Yeah, and if I'm not buying, you shouldn't be buying. Yeah. Because last year, for what it's worth, I told everybody that follows me on Twitter, look, I'm out. I'm getting out of this. I'm getting out. I will come back in the summer when it's time, and I still have not come back in, and it's a year later.
Yeah, same. Okay, let's see, another question.
I saw one about American Airlines.
Okay, if you saw a specific question you want to answer, Jay, go ahead, take it.
Yeah, so it was pretty boilerplate. Like, do you think American Airlines should go lower? Yeah, 100%.
100%.
And speaking to what Mike, Mike answered a question before. Like, do you think we'll go higher? Do you think the bottom's in? This was like in all bear markets, it was a reflex bounce. I think it was 2 weeks ago when we did this, we talked about our some stocks to buy. You know, on a Sunday, every one of those stocks ripped. I think by Wednesday, the lowest percentage gain in all of the stocks was 30%. I bought Boeing at 90. Um, I got my father-in-law into Boeing at 90. Got into Carnival at 11 or 12. Out at 18. We took advantage of that reflex bounce. And then we took advantage because we were like, wow, these things just bounced too high.
Yeah.
So we were short Boeing.
Yep.
We were short American Airlines. We were really short the cruise line.
Yes, we were really short the cruise lines for a few days.
I mean, I was shorting Boeing when it was at 186, and I was buying 150 puts and 125 puts, and I was getting messages like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't intend to wait and see, but I know I'm going to catch a downside move.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know that American Airlines is going to be here in 10 years because you do not let a company with the name American, which is one of the most established airlines ever. It's like letting Ford
Right.
So they're going to get a bailout. Delta is going to get a bailout. Look, Delta's losing $60 million a day.
Yep.
JetBlue, I think it was JetBlue losing $100 million. American Airlines.
I think JetBlue. I think JetBlue was less. I think United, Delta, American were the most, and then JetBlue and Southwest, I think, are losing just because they're smaller airlines and have less international flight exposure. Yeah. But regardless, I mean, they're all losing money, hand over fist.
Yeah, and let me kind of give you a tip about Warren Buffett, and I think that this is really useful information. And I think a lot of people are focusing on that he sold massive positions. So he sold 18% of his Delta position.
Right.
That still means that he's got 82% of his Delta position.
Yep.
So why? Why 18%? That's such an obscure number. Maybe he thinks it's going to go down another 20%. And my feeling is that if these bailouts aren't, they're going to have to spread them out, especially for the airlines, right? That a lot of these companies are going to go directly to Warren Buffett. So what is he doing? He's selling his stock now, using those proceeds, and he's just going to re-lend it to them back, and he's going to get some insane type of sweetener, just the same way he did when he lent money to Goldman Sachs in 2008.
100%.
So
that's what I think. Go ahead.
I don't think anybody is. I think everybody's like, oh, the airlines are done. Buffett's getting out. He's not getting out.
No.
He's just playing like the long chess game.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? They're going to ask me for money. They've probably already started making inquiries, and I'm just going to use the money that I already have invested, that I'm already down on, give it back to them, but now I'll get maybe 20 or 30% more stock.
Yeah.
And even if they don't ask him for money, maybe he's just like, I think that there's 20, 30%, more downside risk.
Yeah.
In which case, if he buys with the money now and it goes down another 30%, he'll get 30% more stock. He'll have a lot more insurance, and he knows that he'll recoup that money that he went down faster.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and look, I like, I've been scaling into American Airlines. I like Southwest. I like JetBlue. I look at American Airlines the same way I looked at National Bank of Greece when I first started investing. I looked at it as something that the government could not let fail. And that's how I look at America. It's not going to go anywhere. I think anything that you buy now in 2 years is going to be at least 100%.
Yeah, I agree. you guys have to also think about, Jason and I have actually a very, very similar theory. And some people were asking me, I saw there's a couple of questions about Boeing, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Boeing and what I think is going on there. Because the Warren Buffett story kind of has a lot to do with it. But when people are asking about, do we think that these airlines can go lower? Let me put things into a little bit of perspective for you right now. American Airlines is at like $9.50. Um, broke below key $10 support level on Friday. American Airlines was at $1.50 in 2008, 2009. $1.50. Go back and I'll just show you. Go back. I have a chart right in front of my face. And I'm like, go back and look. Oops, I forgot the L. Here we are. Look where we are in 2008, 2009. Okay. So when you're wondering, okay, when you're wondering, can American Airlines go lower? The answer is yeah. Okay. We went from $60 in 2007 to $1.75 in 2008 and 2009. So if you want to know, can American Airlines go lower? The answer is undoubtedly, absolutely. Okay. So, Bank of America in 2008 was at like $3.50. Bank of America. Okay. You're talking about Bank of America, which everyone knows as being one of the biggest, banks in the world. There it is in 2008 at $3 a share. Okay. $3 a share. So, when you guys are asking, can these stocks go lower? The answer will always be yes. Okay, and you always have to understand that when you're making an investment decision, um, because in 2008, I sat there and I watched Bear Stearns in a matter of days go from $150 a share to zero. If you guys are new to trading, you may not know what Bear Stearns is, but Bear Stearns was a major investment bank on Wall Street. Major, huge. They were a huge company. Um, and we watched them go from $150 a share. Then one day it was at 100. Then the next day it was at 75, and then all of a sudden it was at zero. And every step along the way throughout that process, I would sit there and listen to people on TV say, "Oh, this is so cheap. This is such a bargain. Oh, this is so cheap. I mean, how much lower can it really go?" Every day it was, "How much lower can it really go? How much lower can it really go?" The answer, ladies and gentlemen, was lower. Okay, and that's where you are. That's the position that you're in now with airlines and cruise lines and a lot of the U.S. oil companies. They all can go lower. They all can go lower. Can American Airlines go to $6? Yes, it could. Could Carnival Cruise go to $3 or $4? Yes, it could. All right. Yes, it certainly could. So you have to just keep that in mind um, when you guys are kind of making those decisions. And briefly, let me just quickly talk about Boeing. A lot of you, I'm seeing messages about Boeing. Um, and I bought Boeing. I added in my long-term portfolio right there. 106.34 was my fill. $106.34 was where I added to my long-term portfolio. Um, and then, I'm not selling that. That my long-term portfolio ad we're holding on to. And then, Jason and I were shorting Boeing in here through means of put options, and sometimes I was shorting the actual stock itself. And Jason had put options on Boeing, and we're just trading this thing. And can Boeing go lower again? Another one, yes, absolutely, it could. Now, this is where we get into the Warren Buffett situation because what I think the airlines will get bailed out by the U.S. government. I think Boeing is going to get bailed out by Warren Buffett. That's my theory. And I also, when you look at, okay, Warren Buffett is selling now, positions in airlines. They're also not. It's not like he's selling. You have to look at his entire position. It's not like he just went over the last 3 weeks and he just sold his entire airline stake. I think that he could be loosening up some of his holdings in some of the airlines because if they get bailed out by the U.S. government, the government could take a stake in the companies. You can have there could be mergers maybe that take place. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are flying on, a year from now, you take a flight to Vegas and you're on United American Airlines, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. And something like that, a government bailout or something like that, would potentially put a little bit of a cap on Warren Buffett's investments. What I think is what he is actually doing is lightening up some of his investments in airlines with the intention on giving that cash to Boeing. Now, Boeing needs a hell of a lot more money than what Warren Buffett's going to be willing to sell in the airlines. This is not like a one for one wash where he's like, let me just sell the positions and give it to Boeing. Boeing is going to need anywhere from like 10 to 50 billion dollars. Okay. Warren Buffett, the stake he sold on Delta was only worth like 218, $219 million is what he sold in Delta over the last 2 weeks. So, like you guys can see, he's got a hell of a long way to go if he was ever going to do a one for one wash. I don't think that's what's going to happen. You already had the CEO of Boeing say that the U.S. government wants an equity stake for a bailout. And the CEO said 2 weeks ago, he said, if the government wants a stake, we will not accept the bailout. We have other funding options. Stage left, enter Warren Buffett. Okay. Um, it's $40 billion, something like that is a very large number. So if you think that you're just going to, go and give JP Morgan a call and say, hey, can you guys give me $40 billion? That's not going to happen. I think that what you're going to see is Warren Buffett step in. He's going to write a check to Boeing, and that's how he's going to be able to still have exposure to the airline industry in the money that he's selling from individual airline companies. So I think he's saying the airlines are going to take a bailout from the US government. Let me start to lighten up my positions in them because I'd rather put that money into Boeing, which still gives me exposure to the airline industry. As the airline industry recovers, they're going to start buying planes again. Boeing benefits. So by investing in Boeing, and I think it'll be a typical Warren Buffett fashion, which is what he did in 2008 with Goldman Sachs. I think Goldman Sachs was $10 billion, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 10 billion is what he gave Goldman Sachs. And it was at 8% interest and a ridiculous amount of warrants. What the warrants? I think the warrants were in like the 70s. I don't remember. I have to go back and check. It was such a long time ago. But that's what he did with Goldman Sachs. It was I think 8% interest on the money and a very large warrant position. I think we can see the exact same thing with Boeing. He can step in and say, Boeing, here's $40 billion check. Give me 8% interest on it. By the way, I want a ridiculous amount of warrants from whatever price that they agree to. And I think that is how he maintains his interest in the airline industry while reducing exposure in individual airlines if they're going to get bailed out by the US government. And that's what I think is starting to happen. That's my theory, at least. We'll see if I'm right. But I absolutely love Boeing for a long-term portfolio ad. It's not my largest holding, but I'm going to be working myself up to where Boeing would be one of my biggest holdings. Right now, my biggest holdings are Apple, Amazon, and Google. Those are my three biggest holdings in my long-term portfolio, but I am working my way up. Boeing, I'm working my way up there. And AMD, I'm working my way up there as well. I love AMD. So I'm going to start to work Boeing and AMD up to be one of my, in my top 5 biggest holdings. You guys have to think of it this way. When it comes to Boeing, Boeing is not just about selling airplanes to airlines. They have a massive government contract business with the United States, defense and military. Massive. If Boeing never sold another airplane, Just the revenue they generate from defense contracts with the US government puts them at a book value of $70 a share. So if you're buying Boeing long term at $100, you're giving a $30 premium to the airline industry business. When just 2 months ago, the airline industry business for Boeing was trading at a $300 premium because Boeing was just at $370. If their defense contract business puts them at 70, you had $300 of airline business factored into there. Of course, you have, it's not just, book value is $70. You can say there's maybe $110 of that price target, or that current share price was defense sector. But you take a look at Boeing now. I don't think Boeing's going out of business. It'll never happen. The US government would never let it happen. I think Warren Buffett would jump at the opportunity to but the US government would never allow it. It'd be a security issue for Boeing to go out of business because they handle far too many military and defense contracts. They cannot go out of business. It'll never happen. I guarantee it. So that's why when this thing got to 100, I bought a chunk. And we go back down to 100, 90, 80, I'm buying another big chunk because I love Boeing for the long term. And I think we're going to look back 5 years from now and Boeing will be back over 300, 350 bucks. And nobody will even remember what COVID-19 was. Nobody remembers what smallpox was. Nobody remembers what the Spanish flu was. Nobody remembers what H1N1 swine flu was. Nobody remembers what polio was, what MERS was, what SARS was. Nobody cares anymore. They were all big issues. None of them caused an economic shutdown. But the point is, we're going to get a vaccine, and 5 years from now, you're not even going to remember what COVID-19 really was. And I think Boeing will still be Boeing, and I think they'll be back over $300 a share. And you're going to remember this day and be like, God damn, Michael Edward and Jason Spatafora just made me a shit ton of money. And that's what I honestly think you're going to see happen over the next couple of years, because Boeing is one of my absolute favorite long-term ads. So a lot of you were asking me about Boeing and what my thoughts on Boeing were. There you go. There you guys have it. I can't be any more clear than I just was with what my stance on Boeing is and why that is my stance. That's most important too. It's not just like, oh, it used to be $400, that's why I'm buying it at 100. No, I mean there's real hardcore fundamental reasons why I love to buy Boeing, and Warren Buffett's a big part of it, and their defense contract system is a big part of it as well. And I think, I think it's a home run. Okay. Guys, what I will say to you real quick, I'm going to take probably one or two more questions, and then Jason and I are going to get into our watch list and our game plans for next week. Jason had mentioned something earlier when he was speaking, and I want to make sure that you guys are all aware of this. For the entire month of April, we have extended our 30% discount to join True Trading Group. So Jason and I, every single day, are in chat. We're going over things with members, but we're also doing one-on-one mentor sessions. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to offer one-on-one mentorship. So right now, through the month of April, as the coronavirus stimulus that we're kind of doing with the government, if you guys have been following the channel, I've talked about it a few times. We were doing it in the month of March. But now, since the COVID-19 issue is still very much here and doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon, we're extending that offer to everyone. Everybody is affected by this situation one way or the other, whether if you're affected financially or not. A lot of people are affected financially. Small businesses, people are furloughed, people have been laid off. Small business owners can't open up, they can't pay their bills, they can't get revenue. And I know times are tough for a lot of people. So we are extending a 30% discount for the entire month of April for anybody that's interested in joining True Trading Group. With that membership comes a free one-on-one mentor session with either myself or Jason, whoever you prefer. It's a 1-year all-inclusive membership where you get access to the chat room, where you see my screen throughout the day. You know exactly what I'm doing. I'm on the microphone talking through my analysis. Jason's on the microphone as well, talking through his analysis, what he's buying, what he's selling, why he's buying it, why he's selling it. We go through that live with our members in chat every single day. And with that membership also comes included the text message trade alert. So if you guys can't be in chat during the day, you can follow along with what it is that Jason and I are trading. And then also email swing trade alerts. You guys get access to the premium blog as well, which is updated daily by myself and the other moderators in chat that cover trade ideas, trade recaps, general market commentary, um, and market education and knowledge there as well. And then, of course, the courses. Guys, so you are aware, if you are on my YouTube channel, then you really value education, because on the YouTube channel, I give you guys free mental and technical lessons every single day. I'm recapping the trading day and giving you at least one, sometimes two, three, four different lessons that you can take away from the trading day. That's what the TGG YouTube channel is all about. And if you're on my channel now watching this live stream, you guys know that already. All of the courses that are available on the website that I wrote myself are included for free with your membership. Okay. So you're paying for chat room access, trade alerts, premium blog, all of those resources, which I'll show you guys later at the end of the live stream. I'll show you guys what those resources look like after we get through our watch list and our game plan. I'll show you guys what that looks like. But all of those courses are included for free. So you guys get the beginner and foundation courses, the advanced courses, the options courses, trader psychology courses, how to thrive during a stock market crash. All those courses are included for free. And also important to note that all future courses are also included for free. So at True Trading Group, there's never any upsells. When you guys join, you get access to everything. It's like the Netflix of trading communities. That's what I like to call it, because you pay one subscription fee and you get access to all content, both current and future content as well. So I'm working on right now actually an advanced options course with advanced option trading strategies like iron condors, spreads, butterflies, different hedging strategies for advanced traders that really want to do some advanced option positioning. I'm working on that. And I'm also working on a new swing trading course as well. So when that material comes out and goes live on the website, you automatically have access to it. It's not like, okay, you guys are a member, but here's a new course. You got to pay more for it. No, you guys get access to everything included for free. So with that membership, the 30% discount is extended for now the month of April. And with the discount, it comes out to less than a cup of coffee a day. So if you, before this pandemic, if you guys used to go to Starbucks every day and get a cup of coffee, this would actually cost you less than that with that 30% discount. So you guys get the 30% off and you get a one-on-one mentor session for free with either myself or Jason. It's really whoever you prefer, whoever you choose. So guys, if you're interested in that, use the coupon code TTGBM2020, and that will give you the 30% discount. And then you can schedule your one-on-one whenever you're ready. Okay, whenever you're ready, take your time. You want to go through the courses and then schedule your one-on-one with either Jason or myself. We'll ready when you are. And those courses, guys, that you get access to on the website, I wrote those courses myself. Those of you that maybe are new, that don't know me, or maybe you just found this live stream, you just found this channel, I got my education working at a hedge fund. That's how I got started trading. And before I was ever able to trade a dollar of the hedge fund's money, I had to go through a 3-month educational program where I sat in a classroom for the first 3 months of my employment. About 26 people were hired, and only about 7 or 8, I think it was 7 or 8, passed the educational program and then actually were able to trade on the floor with the hedge fund's money. That's where I received the Trader of the Year award. That's where I got all my education. I've taken those 3 months of education, simplified it, and created the TGG courses. So that's the beginner foundation courses, the option courses, trader psychology, advanced courses. All of that stuff is that material simplified into courses that every everyday person can understand. So you are getting a true professional Wall Street education by joining True Trading Group. And then I'm including all of those courses for free with your membership for the month of April. Okay, so if you guys want all of those courses included with your membership for free, and you want a one-on-one mentor session included for free with either myself or Jason, TTG BM 2020. But here's the catch. If you sign up to TTG tomorrow, we're not giving you guys the free one-on-one mentor session. If you guys take action and invest in yourselves tonight, Jason and I are going to give you guys that free one-on-one mentor session. Okay. So before we get into our game plan and our watch list, I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that offer that's available to you. So you get a 30% discount. And if you sign up tonight, you get a free one-on-one with either myself or Jason. Okay. Sue, let's see. What have I missed in chat? Nice, Luke. Luke, welcome to the family. Guys, Luke says, I joined last Tuesday. Really solid coursework so far. For me, the trade alerts have already paid for my membership. It's nuts. Luke, welcome to the family. I'm glad to have you part of the team, bro. Guys, and it's actually, we've done surveys with our TTG members, and Luke is the perfect example of what are the data feedback that we get from our members, which is 80% of our TTG members are earning 7 to 10 times their membership fee within the first 6 months of their trading. So, another member right there, Luke, says he just joined last Tuesday and he's already has paid for his entire membership with the trade alerts that myself, Jason, and there's also some other pro traders that are in chat as well. It's not just Jason and I. There's about 6 other traders in there that are professionals that are calling out trades, that are answering questions for people that trade everything. We're a very diversified group of traders. We trade small caps, mid caps, large caps. We trade options. We trade futures. We trade ETFs. We even have one trader in there that trades crypto. So there is literally something in there for everyone. I believe in diversification. If you guys want to be a consistently profitable trader, you have to be a diversified trader. You can't just trade one specific asset class and have one little gimmick. And that's the difference that you guys will see, that the education that you learn in True Trading Group, because it's a real professional education, you can take it and apply it across multiple asset classes. It'll work in small caps. It'll work in large caps. It'll work in futures. It'll work in options. When you learn a special little gimmick that a trader has, say they've come up with this little special secret, there are no special secrets. There are no secrets that unlock the keys to the stock market. Believe me, if there were, there'd be trillionaires in the world, and all the richest people in the world would not be service providers and product providers like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. Okay, the wealthiest people in the world would be traders if there was a special secret where you unlocked unlimited profit potential, and you were right 100% of the time. There'd be trillionaires, and the top 50 people in the world, wealth-wise, would all be traders. But that's not the case. The richest man in the world, it provides a service to people all around the world. And really, that's the difference. You guys will be able to learn a professional education and apply it against multiple asset classes, but also multiple trading strategies. You don't have to trade just like I do or just like Jason does in order to become a consistently profitable trader. The education that you receive, you can apply to your own strategy. If you're an experienced trader and you have your own strategy that works for you, and you just want to take your trading to the next level, you can do that with this professional education. You don't have to do exactly what I do or do exactly what Jason does. And that's the difference. That's the difference between a gimmick and a professional education. That's the difference right there. Okay. So all of that stuff, guys, is what you get included with that 1-year membership, TTG BM 2020. And like I said, sign up tonight. You have a few hours left. Jason and I will do a one-on-one mentor session with you for free included. All right. Okay. Oh God, yeah. John asks, how much do I need to start? John, I mean, you can start with as little as a couple $100. I mean, we have traders in TTG that some traders only have a couple $100 in their account. We have other traders that have several $100,000 in their accounts. There's big traders and there's small traders. We have people in TTG that have been trading for 20 years. We have people that never placed a trade a day in their lives and they're starting fresh right now. And I like that. I like having that in TTG because, everybody started somewhere. I've been doing this for 16 years now, but there was a day one for me too. And believe me, guys, if you have any questions believe me, somebody else has the same question. So don't ever feel stupid. Don't ever feel like you're bothering me. If you guys haven't realized by now, I answer every single one of the comments that you leave on the YouTube channel. And I love each and every one of you for being active on the YouTube channel, liking, sharing, commenting on my videos. I love it. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure to like this video and make sure to follow the channel and hit the notification button to make sure you don't miss any of these videos that I do on a daily basis. Um, but I answer every single one of your questions. So when you're a member in TTG, I always tell people to never be shy or never feel like you're bothering me. You have access to myself and Jason throughout the day. You can send us private messages. You can ask us questions. You can talk to us throughout the day and see what our thoughts are on specific things. I encourage you to ask questions. It's the only way you're going to learn. So there's no such thing as a stupid question. Believe me, if you have the question, I probably had the same question 16 years ago. And if I didn't have anybody that I was able to ask that question to when I was working at the hedge fund, I wouldn't be where I am today. So believe me, I understand the importance of true mentorship and having someone that you can go to for guidance and ask questions. There's a lot of members in TTG that tell me that they came from other groups where if they asked a question, they were like shunned. They were like, "Oh, shut up, that's a stupid question. Go read the course." Or if they disagreed with the head trader, they would mute them. If the head trader was short and you thought it was a good long, the head trader would mute you. It's like, what? There's times in chat where Jason and I are on opposite sides of the trade. There's times in chat where maybe Jason likes something short, I like something long, but that's the beauty of a market, and that's the beauty of being able to hear both sides of um, the analysis on both sides of a trade, and that's what TTG is all about, guys. That's what it's all about. So, whether you're a brand new trader, you've never placed a trade a day in your life, or you've been doing this for 20 years, believe me, there's value for you at TTG, whether it's beginner courses or advanced courses. And I look forward to having you part of the group. And I most importantly, I look forward to doing a one-on-one with you guys. I love doing one-on-ones. They're really one of my favorite things. Um, I do when I do one-on-ones with members, guys, I love it because you guys get to see my face every time I make a video. You get to hear my voice, my personality. I don't know anything about you guys. So I love getting on the phone. I love hearing your voice and putting a personality to a username. I genuinely enjoy them. I do them every single day. Literally, I do them every day with our members. So I look forward to doing mine with you guys. All right. What else we got here, guys? Yes, newbie day trader. I love it. I love it. Oh, Moise, what's up, bro? Another TGD member says, this is not a membership that you just get left hanging. The whole team teaches you every day and they answer every question anyone has. There it is, guys, coming from a member. Like I said, I encourage people to ask questions. If you've ever been to a free TGD Tuesday, um, you guys know I answer everyone's questions and I encourage the questions. Moise, I'll see you in chat tomorrow, bro. Yep, newbie day trader. You always have to have a game plan. That's where we're gonna go over some of our game plan stuff there. Oh, Jeff, what's up, man? Jeff, another member, says I've been with TTG for over 2 months. Great program. Jacob, our chat room runs on Webinato. Webinato is the software we use for our chat room. Trading Mantra, what's up? Another member says I just got into TTG last week. It's awesome. G, what's up, G? Another member said they give you homework over the weekend if you ask for it. That's right. Yes, we do. We do give our members homework. If you guys ask for it, we will give you homework. We do give you homework. Yes, M. Foster. That previous day, I got out after hours at $8.18, but then I reshorted it the following day. I reshorted it again on Friday. If you missed my video recap on Friday, I went over that. So in my video recap Thursday, I said if it gets over like 815, which was the VWAP area, I said I was going to cover that position. We got to 818 after market. I covered it. And then we gapped up on Friday and I shorted it again on the gap up. And I made a little bit of money on it on Friday. I made all my money Friday on Royal Caribbean. If you guys missed my trade recap from Friday, make sure you go check it out because I had a big short in Royal Caribbean at 7,500 shares. I shorted Royal Caribbean on Friday. Had a big position in Carnival also, but Carnival did not give me the down move that I was expecting. I made a little bit of money on Carnival, but I made the bulk of my money on Royal Caribbean. Yo, Nas, what's up? What's up, Nas? Mark, what's up? Oh man, I love it. We have a lot of members in here. I love it. I love when the members come and join me on the live streams. Mark, what's up? Mark's been a member for 4 months. He says a great quality mentorship. What's up, Rich? Rich is going through the foundation course now. Wow, we have a lot of members on with me. Yes, Chris. Yes. Chris Barnett just joined TTG 3 weeks ago. He's already up $3,000 on a small account. Thanks, Mike and team. Wow, we have a lot of members that are on here with us. Guys, what's up? All my TTG members that are in chat right now, comment in the chat. Let some people know what your experience has been like in True Trading Group, guys. If you're a current member and you're on this live stream, comment in the chat. Let people know. Oh, Mark, you're a bull, Mark. I love it. I love it. I'll see you in chat on Monday, bro. Legend says 5 months with TTG. Best mentors if you want consistency. Jay Orlando, another TTG member. The only mentorship worth paying for. My man. I love it. You guys are awesome. I love my TGG fam so much, guys. I honestly, I love our family so much. We're such a tight knit group. Like that's what the thing I like the most about TGG is that we're a very, very tight knit group. I was planning a big retreat down in Miami this year. I was actually planning to do it in the month of April, and then this COVID crap happened, so I wasn't able to get that together. I was going to do like a Thursday to Sunday where I was going to get the whole TGG fam. I was going to bring everybody down, and we were going to do some bonding, go out, dinners, have some fun, but also people come down on Thursday. We were going to all trade together in person on Friday, and then over the weekend, have some fun, but also get into like a conference room and go over some educational stuff. For our members that are watching this live stream, I am still doing that. Okay. We are still going to do that where I'm going to have everybody come down to Miami. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to trade together. We're going to go into a classroom, like a conference room. We're going to learn. We're going to go over some courses, some classes. I'm going to take questions. I'm going to do some one-on-one sessions with people in person. We're going to do all that stuff just as soon as all this crap with COVID-19 is over with. I look forward to that a lot. So I hope you guys do too. Oscar, great question. Oscar says, how can someone with a 9 to 5 benefit and follow from this program? And guys, I mean, it's the majority of our members are part-time traders. The majority of our members have other responsibilities and other jobs throughout the day where they can't be in front of their computer all day, every day like I can. But that's why our entire program is completely mobile ready. You can access the chat room and get all the trade alerts right from your cell phone, from your tablet, from a laptop. However, it's completely mobile ready, Android and iPhone as well. But we also have the text message alerts. That's a big part of the value in True Trading Group. It's kind of twofold. Whenever I enter and exit a trade, a text message gets sent out directly to your cell phone. So even if you're not in chat, you can follow along with what it is that we're trading. And it's important that I note I am not a scalper. If you guys haven't noticed that by now, I am not a scalper. My trades last anywhere from several minutes to several hours to several days. Okay. I am not a scalper. Scalpers are traders that I get in and out within seconds or minutes. That's not my style. Okay. I shorted Royal Caribbean. I'll just show you guys. I shorted. If you missed my recap on Royal Caribbean. I'll just show you guys real quick because this is just an example of what one of my trades looks like. I shorted a Royal Caribbean on Friday right there, and my take profits. Here were my take profits. Okay. So you guys can see, this is throughout the entire trading day. This is at, 10 a.m. here, and then a cover at 11, a cover at 1, a cover at 2:30. So my trades last, several hours to several minutes. So it's very easy for you to follow along with what it is that I'm trading throughout the day. And that's why a lot of people use the text message service, even though they can't be in chat, they still follow my trades via the text message service. So, Oscar, that's how someone that works a 9 to 5 can benefit from the TTG platform. And that's something that I want to make sure that TTG is for everyone, not just full-time professional traders, people that are trying to learn this skill, supplement their income, that there's a way for you to really benefit and take advantage of the service. Johnny Chase, what's up, bro? Johnny Chase just signed up 2 weeks ago, guys. He says, what's up, Mike? 2 weeks in, best program available. I love it. I love it. John Oko, the promo code is TTGBM 2020. Okay, John? John, the coupon code is TTGBM 2020. That gets you the 30% discount. And if you sign up tonight, John, you also get included a free one-on-one mentor session with Jason or myself. Smart Trader, what's up, man? Jerry Gregg says TTG's more. Jerry, what's up, Jerry? I'll see you tomorrow. Jerry says it's more than just a chat room. The education is priceless. Yeah, Glenn, I'm looking forward to it, man. Glenn's another member. Glenn, I'm looking forward to the meetup in Miami. I was planning for in April, but this damn thing kind of threw a wrench on that. Melissa, what's up? We have a lot of members on here. I love it. I love it. Melissa says they answer every question. I love it. No, I don't do small account challenges, guys. I'm sorry, I don't do small account challenges. Small account challenge is something that you'll see other people do just as a marketing tactic to try to get people with small accounts to sign up for their program. Guys, I'm not a small trader. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not going to start an account with $500 and trade with $500. I'm making money. Okay, so I'm not going to. I don't do that. I don't do small account challenges. Just me personally, I don't do it. People that do that, I feel like it's just a marketing ploy just to get you to be like, oh, if he can do it with $500, then so can I. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't have any desire to do a small account challenge. What's my ROI target per month or per year? I don't really, I don't really have an ROI target because I trade. So all right. So Melvin, how big is my account? Melvin, I usually maintain like $300 to $350,000 in cash in my account, and then I get leverage on that cash. And then every month, whatever the surplus of cash that's in the account, whatever it is, then I just take it out. So I usually maintain 3 to 350, and then I have margin on that. So my buying power is well into the 7 figures, but I usually just go back down, whatever the surplus is on the month, that's when I take it out and I'll start the next month around that same 3 to 350 cash number. Big Bala. I know. I know. I know. What's a good target to aim for? I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, Melvin, it depends. Like, are you going to maintain the same amount of money, or are you going to be taking money out of the account, or are you just going to let it sit in there and just grow it, or do you pull money out to pay bills? Like, it depends. It's like I pull the money out and then I put money aside for taxes. I put money into my long term investments. I pay my bills. I live my life. So it's not it's a little different. It's not like I'm saying, okay, you're going to start with X amount of money and then you're going to make a certain percentage on that, because I'm not building that. I'm not letting that money accrue in my account every month. I'm taking that profit out each month. No, Queen. I'm talking 350,000. That's me, but that's not. You guys don't need. We have members that start with a couple $100, guys. You don't need to have a large account to do this. We have several members in here that start with a few $100. I actually challenge each. I'm going to challenge every single one of you. I've done this before. I'm going to challenge every single one of you to, if you have, if you've got a $1,500 in your trading account, you have a small account. I'm challenging you to take $1,000 of that, sign up for True Trading Group for the entire year, get the full education, get all the trade alerts, get the chat room, get your one-on-one with Jason and myself, and I challenge you to, within the first 6 months, to turn $500 into 3,500. You can do it, especially with trading options. And Jason trades options every day. I trade a lot of equities also. I also trade options. Jason trades options every single day. Once in a while, he'll get into an equities trade, but I'm mostly equities, but I also do options as well. We have a lot of people, guys, um, that start off with small accounts. It's a very common misconception that you need a very large account in order to become a consistently profitable trader. It is not true. It's not true. The only thing is your scale. If you only have $1,000 in your account, are you going to make 100 grand in a month? No, of course not. Okay, of course not. But can that $1,000 turn into $3,000? You bet your ass it can. Can that 3,000 turn into six? Bet your ass it can. Can six turn into 10? Can 10 turn into 20? Can 20 turn into 40? Absolutely, it can. Okay, absolutely, it can. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by you guessing. It's not going to happen by trial and error. It's not going to happen by you looking for shortcuts. It's not going to happen by you cutting corners. It's not going to happen by you saying, I don't want to put any work in. I just want to just tell me what stock to buy. I don't want to learn anything. If you are willing to put in the work, Jason and myself are willing to put in the time. That's why I do the one-on-one mentor programs. That's why it's 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and I'm doing a live stream with you rather than sitting at home watching a movie, okay, with my fiance laying in bed. Okay, that's not what I'm doing right now, when I very well could be. But if you guys are willing to put the time in, and I'm challenging you to put the time in, what else are you guys doing right now? Honestly, if there has ever been a time for you to get an education and learn a new skill, it's right now. It's right now. Everyone's working from home. Some people are furloughed, some people are laid off. There's never been a better time than right now for you to learn something. Take the courses. The courses are all in video and text format, guys. Oh, what's up, Alex? Guys, Alex. I just saw Alex pop up in chat. Alex is another one of the professional moderators in chat. So Alex is actually like our small cap crypto guru. Alex really specializes and focuses on small caps, penny stocks, and cryptocurrency. And he's in chat with us as well. So if you guys have any questions for Alex, feel free to fire away in chat there as well. I think you should have level 2. Newbie day trader, you should have level 2. I don't put as much emphasis on level 2 as a lot of other traders do. I think scalpers pay a lot more attention to level 2, more so than I do. But you should have level 2. You really should. Yes, Moscone, you're 100% correct. Okay? Moscone, you're 100% correct with your statement. You shouldn't be trading options if you haven't traded stocks for some time. More complicated than stocks, even though you risk less capital. Moscone, the part of your statement that I agree with 100% is you guys have to learn how to trade stocks first, because an option contract is going to fluctuate in price based off of multiple factors, the biggest one being the price action of the underlying stock itself. So if you buy a call option on Roku, there's multiple things that will affect the movement of that option, but the biggest effect on the price movement of the option is the price movement of Roku, the stock itself. So if you do not understand price movement and how to trade stocks, then you have to learn that first. So that's why I always recommend, when traders that join TTG that have never traded options before and have never traded stocks before, I say, before you take the options course, go through the stock trading courses first, get that core foundation, and then learn how to trade options off of that. And that's when Jason will be there to help walk you guys through, every step of the way.
Hey, Mike.
Yo.
Oh, okay, good. Finally, you heard me.
Yes, Jason is still here, guys.
Yeah, I'm still here. Mike's just getting very excited. So, okay, first, I'm going to give you guys a 30-second history lesson. I started investing in 2013. I mean, I was always interested in the market, just never got that, I had that overwhelming urge until, I started to settle down. I started with $1,500. Slowly, didn't know what I was doing. When I started trading with pot stocks, I put 500 of that into pot stocks. Went up 50%. I was like, wow, this is great. 2 days later, and then like 2 days after that, it went down 50%. I was like, man, this sucks. But I thought that there was something to the volatility, and I tried to understand more and just started to educate myself. And then I put little by little by little, in. I was putting like $250, $500 sometimes a week. I invested a total of $10,000 into the market in 2013. I have never invested any more money into the market. So, I wasn't a math major. I suck at math. Anything past long division is, that's it. I was an English major. I made a lot of money in pot stocks early, and then realized that it's really hard to keep that money if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, if I could make money, then anybody can. You just have to look at it as a long game. It's a marathon. It really is. You can't try and go out there and hit home runs every day. Like the baseball players that try and hit home runs every day don't make it to Cooperstown. The guys that get on base, that's it's pretty simple. And then another question that I saw is, how do I trade options? I trade the channel. Especially now, I'm not looking to hold anything overnight unless I feel really strong about it, and because we don't know where we're going from one day to the next. I trade the channel. I tend to buy call options when the stock is going down, and put options when the stock is going up, because I know that I can, catch that $2-3 move and be in and out. That simple. So, and we go through this, and we've been very successful with it. So yeah, that's really all I had to say.
Yeah. Nice. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, okay, I think we've taken enough questions and everything. So what we'll probably do now um, is now we will Jason and I are going to now let's go over our watch list, the stocks we're paying attention to, what our game plans are next week, where we see opportunity right now in the markets, and what stocks that we're going to be attacking on Monday and throughout the rest of the week. So before we get into that, one last time, guys, again, I'll remind you TTG BM 2020 to get the 30% discount on the all inclusive membership. That includes all of the courses, both current courses and future courses. Everything's included. Trade alerts, text message alerts, blog, everything, you name it, you have access to it. And if you sign up within the next 2 hours, you have 2 hours left. If you sign up tonight, you will get a free 1 hour mentor session with either myself or Jason to discuss whatever topics you would like, review your trading, whatever it is that you guys want to go over. We will include that for free if you sign up by tonight. But the 30% discount is valid for the month of April. All right, take advantage of it, guys. Now, let's get to the watch list. Let's see, what am I thinking? Futures are gapping up right now on the overall markets, which actually is a surprise to me. When I saw the news with oil, I thought for sure the markets were going to be gapping down once the futures open. There's talks of there's some bristles in the wind of Trump wanting to get rid of capital gains tax. There is, people talking about another round of stimulus. Maybe that's what is giving us this bit of a gap in the futures. I'm not really quite sure, but nonetheless, we are gapping up. We are gapping up on these futures, and we're gapping up into an area of resistance. And the area of resistance on the SPY that I'm going to talk to you guys about now, okay, is a very, very key area that we're going to be paying attention to. Okay, this is the area that I want you guys to pay attention to on the SPY, because if we are not above this level tomorrow, if we are still beneath this level, I will be getting short the SPY. If the SPY does not break through this level, I will be getting SPY put options tomorrow, Tuesday. Maybe I'll buy Friday expiration and look for an extended move down. What I would probably do, my game plan for this, if the SPY cannot break this 253 level, 250 to 253, I am going to buy, if this happens tomorrow, I'm probably going to buy same day expiration puts tomorrow for a day trade, capitalize on that high volatility. But I'll probably also buy Friday expiration puts for a swing trade and look for the SPY to get back to 245. That's what I'm going to be doing this week. This 252.50 area, what I want to point out to you, you guys see this nice little area of resistance. I'm going to take a 15-minute chart so it's a little more, the chart looks a little bit cleaner for you. Here's our 15-minute chart. There's your support level you see here. It's really like a dollar range on the SPY. You're talking 252 to 253 is this support level that I see on the SPY. And notice how we have held beneath it now for 2 consecutive days. Thursday, Friday, we stayed beneath it. We had the gap down day on Wednesday. We tested it to Thursday, denied. We tested it Friday, denied. Rolled it over. Now we're getting the gap up. If we cannot get above this area tomorrow, okay, and we're still below 252, 253, that could be another area where I will look to get short, roll that over. And if it happens tomorrow, I'll look for same day expiration puts. And then I will, for a day trade, take profits, obviously, for a quick move. And then I'll be buying maybe Friday expiration puts for an extended period hold. When I take you guys to a daily chart on the SPY, okay, what I'm looking for now is this is your new channel. and it's a very, very defined channel that you see so far. Oh, wait, are the markets closed on Friday? Markets closed on Friday, Jason?
Is it Easter or Good Friday? It's Good Friday, yeah.
Yeah, Friday's Good Friday. Yeah, we're closed on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're closed on Friday. Okay, so never mind. It won't be Friday expiration puts. I didn't even. Oh my God, I can't believe it's Easter already. Wow.
I know.
Wait. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention my birthday's Wednesday. Happy birthday! Shout me out. Happy birthday. My birthday's on Wednesday.
What's Wednesday?
Wednesday's my birthday, baby.
What's the date?
The 8th.
Oh, Alexander's the 10th.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And your son's birthday. So your son's birthday's on Good Friday.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
It's weird because he's the devil.
That's funny. That's funny, man. No, Jason, you got really beautiful, beautiful kids, man. God bless.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So what I'm looking at here is this range on the SPY. All right, I'll take you guys back to a 15-minute chart. See this little channel that we have going here on the SPY? I mean, it's a pretty clearly defined channel. Okay, and again, it take you back to this support level. This is my trading range that I'm going to stick to until it gets broken. Now, eventually, I think we go lower. Eventually, I think that you see the SPY down here, back down into the 230s. That's how I'm going to be positioning myself. That's how I'm going to be trading as we go through the next couple of weeks. I saw somebody just ask me a question, Mike, next week, SPY, higher or lower? And I think that next week by Thursday market close, I think we are lower. Okay. Again, we're going to have earnings that are going to be coming out. You guys got to be paying attention to earnings. But that's kind of my game plan here on the SPY, that 252 to 253 area. I'm looking for that to be resistance. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the futures gapping up. We'll see how we react at that 252, 253 level. And we'll see if there's a short opportunity for me to capitalize on via some options is how I will go about trading that play. So that's my game plan when it comes to the SPY. Next, let's talk about the cruise lines. I have been trading the cruise lines frequently recently. Okay, I've been trading them frequently. I shorted them all the way back here. Okay, a couple weeks ago, we caught a huge drop down on cruise lines. I shorted them again. Okay, on Friday. Now we have a little bit of a bounce. What I'm looking for here on the cruise lines is for all of them to make new lows. Okay, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival. Those are your big three. I haven't traded Norwegian, but I've been trading Royal Caribbean, RCL, and CCL. I've been trading them a lot. They really remind me the most of the banks in 2008. The way that Carnival is trading right now is almost exactly how like Bank of America, Citigroup, how they were trading in 2008. I am looking for these cruise lines to break these pivot lows. This previous pivot low that you see all the way back here, okay, I'm looking at on Royal Caribbean, same thing. See this previous pivot low, okay? I'm looking for all of the cruise lines to break below these levels. I am still bearish on the cruise lines. However, it is very possible that we could see a bounce before that level gets broken. I'm thinking that depending what happens on Monday, Monday is going to be the telltale sign for me. If we come in Monday and let's say Royal Caribbean is back at $8.20, excuse me, say Carnival Cruise is back at like $8.20. Let's say Royal Caribbean, we come in Monday, it's back at 23. I'm just going to get short all of them. Okay. If these come back, and let's say Royal Caribbean's at 25.50, let's say Carnival is at 8.75, I think you actually have a very, very tradable bounce that could be one last hurrah for the cruise lines. Okay. You could have a lot of people think they're heroes and are picking the bottom on the cruise lines. I would not be the least bit surprised if we had one more bounce, suck a lot more longs in, and then pull the rug out from underneath them when they realize that the low is not going to hold, and then you get your next leg down. I think you could see Carnival Cruise Lines at $5. I think you could see Royal Caribbean. I think you can see that at 17, $18. I think there is more room to the downside on these cruise lines. So I am still bearish on cruise lines. I do not think the low is in. I will be looking to short them. Um, Royal Caribbean's a lot easier to short. Carnival, I had a harder time getting a borrow on, but Royal Caribbean was a lot easier. There's also options on the cruise lines. They don't trade that great. So I just will heed with a little caution there. They don't trade that great. Um, but there are options on the cruise lines if you guys want to buy put options, if you want to follow along with the trade as well. So I am bearish, but how we open up tomorrow is going to really dictate how aggressive I get with that short and when I pull the trigger. If I want to attack it tomorrow, or if I'm going to give it time, maybe we get a bounce Monday. We probably get a continuation bounce Tuesday. People get excited. The longs really come pouring in. They think that that's a double bottom. And then all of a sudden we roll back down and then crack. Everybody gets stopped out. And we flush. So I'm waiting to see how we open up tomorrow, but that's my game plan, guys, with the cruise lines. Then we have airlines. They are going lower. American Airlines broke through that pivot low already. United had not. Okay. United Airlines had not yet broken that pivot low. Okay. There's your pivot low. We had not broken it. Delta Airlines had not broken that pivot low until the Warren Buffett news. We sold off after hours. Okay. Here's when the Warren Buffett news came out. I'm sorry, it was right here. Right here is when the news came out about Warren Buffett selling the stake he sold in Delta Airlines. Now, because he is more than a 10% stakeholder in the company, by law, he has to file whenever he sells that position. That's why that SEC filing came out Friday after the close. And then Delta Airlines got shellacked. Okay. So we are now right down below $20, just a couple of pennies above that previous pivot low. Now, if the markets were red, if we were gapping down on the futures, I mean, listen, we still don't know what happens tomorrow. Just because we're up on the futures now doesn't mean we're going to be open at the bell. You got to see what happens tomorrow morning. But if we open red, I think for sure Delta is below this pivot low. Maybe Delta gets held up a little bit, but with that news, I think that's enough to take Delta below that low. And I think it will be impossible for United Airlines to not break that pivot low if American and Delta both do it. So I still do think that there is some more further downside and pain on airlines and cruise lines. I will be looking to get short them this week. That's my focus. That's my game plan. To the flip side, I always like to have a what if I'm wrong game plan. Okay. Now, for some reason, let's say the SPY rips this week. I don't think it does. Okay. Go back to the 15-minute. I don't think it does. But if it does, okay, if we break through 253 and we start to run back to 260, you have to have a good idea of what stocks are you going to get long. You're not going to want to fight airlines and cruise lines short if the SPY is pushing back to 260. That's not going to be the best play. Don't short the weak stocks when the market is strong. Buy strong stocks when the market is strong. Same reason why you don't want to buy strong stocks when the market is weak. Short weak stocks when the market's weak. So let's say we come in this week and we're strong, okay, and the SPY is strong. Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say I think we're going lower in the SPY. Let's say I'm wrong. What do? Look at a couple of stocks that have excellent daily chart setups and incredible relative strength. And they're bigger names. First, Amazon. My goodness, relative strength, Amazon. But also a reverse head and shoulders pattern that is crystal clear. Okay. Here is a reverse head and shoulders pattern forming on Amazon on the daily chart. So if the market is strong, I'm going to look for strong stocks that I can get long. Amazon, very expensive stock, 1900 bucks a share. I'm not going to, I probably won't get long Amazon itself. I'm going to look to buy options in Amazon. So what I would look for is here's your left shoulder, here's your head, and then here would be your right shoulder, and clear as day, here's your neckline right at that 1990 $2,000 mark. So again, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. Okay. If for some reason the market is strong, I would look to be long call options on Amazon. Your take profit would be that 2000 level in case the neckline doesn't break. If the neckline does break, then you have a nice little pop and some room for upside on Amazon. Again, this is not my main focus going into the week. I'm just giving you my backup plan, guys, in case the market is strong. I think the market will be weak. If I'm wrong, I want a backup plan. So that's one setup. Okay, another setup that I'll be looking for is Apple. Okay, Apple not as clear as a setup as some of the others, or as Amazon and another one that I'm going to show you. But if we break above, okay, that channel on the SPY, Apple looks very, very similar to the SPY right now. Look at the SPY. Okay, see the sell-off? We put in the pivot low. Okay, we have the bounce, and now we have a tight channel for 3 days. See that tight 3-day channel? Go back to Apple. Here's your pivot low. Here's your bounce. Here's your tight 3-day channel. If the SPY breaks above that channel, you have to assume Apple and look for Apple to also do the same and break up and out of that channel and fill this little gap that we have here on the chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. All right. I'm looking for Apple to fill that gap. Okay. So you can see Apple would have some more room to the upside. So Jason loves trading Apple options. He loves trading Roku options. I'm sure Jason, if that trade was to set up, he'd be all over it. Another setup, AMD. I love this setup on AMD. If the market is strong, I love this setup on AMD. Another reverse head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Oh, my TC2000 just for, oh, there we go. Sorry, my 2000 froze for me in a second. And there's your neckline. Okay. And what I love here is here's your 200-day moving average support at the head of the pattern. I love this pattern right now on AMD. Textbook reverse head and shoulders pattern. You've got support, beautiful support at this 200-day moving average. Look at how far back I can go with this 200-day moving average support. Are you kidding me? Look at this 200-day moving average support on AMD. This is one of my favorite stocks also for my long-term portfolio. I have been adding to AMD and I will continue to add as the stock pulls back in. But if the markets are strong, I will look for this reverse head and shoulders pattern. I will look for AMD to then make this move and get back up here to retest this downtrend line, which is the neckline of this reverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So that is what I will be looking at in case we do get a strong move in the SPY and in the overall markets, guys. That is my game plan this week. I gave you the stocks that I'm looking for if the markets are weak, which I think they will be. My focus will be short airlines, it'll be short cruise lines. If I am wrong and the markets are strong, I'm going to look for Amazon options, call options. I'll look for Apple call options, and I will look for AMD. I will just get long the actual stock itself. And then, of course, any small caps that pop up on my scanner throughout the day or are leading gappers in the morning, they will also be on my watch list. But with those small caps, I take them day by day. I don't have any small caps on my watch list right now. It's whatever ones are leading gappers. They're gapping up. They've got unusual volume. They've got a good press release to go along with it. They got a small float. I will look for those. Those will all be on my watch list as well. And then, of course, we have oil. The stock that I love two stocks that I'm focusing on regarding oil. I had a couple of you ask me these questions earlier. Two stocks we're focusing on with oil. One is for a trade and a long-term investment. Another one is for long-term investment. One's risky, one is safe. The risky one I'll get to first, and that's Oxy. Okay, Occidental Petroleum. All right, we have a real nice descending triangle on Occidental. Okay, here is your descending triangle on Occidental. Okay, a break above this 15, so was this 14? A break above this $14 area would trigger a move on Occidental that I think gives you at least a move back up towards 19. With this move lower in oil, I expect a big down move in these oil stocks. So I would not be surprised if you see, Occidental down at $10, $11 tomorrow. We closed at 13 on Friday, but this gap down in oil will pull all these stocks down with it. If Oxy holds $10, okay, it's like $9 to $10. That's a great place to add because once the oil situation gets under control, this stock will pop. Carl Icahn, huge investor, owns I think over 10% of the company. I also think Warren Buffett's a big holder of Occidental. Also, I have to go back and check. I think he is. I know Carl Icahn is a huge investor. I don't think he would ever let Occidental fail. I do think Occidental is one of the stocks that will recover um, because it has just some real big names behind it. And I don't think that they'd be. I think they would do everything in their power to keep the company going. So I do think that this would be a nice trade. Keep this pattern on watch, guys. After you get that news of whenever Russia and Saudi Arabia come to some type of an agreement and they cut production on oil prices will recover, maybe get back into the 30s. That should break Oxy out of this descending triangle. This is not something that I think happens tomorrow. This is not something I think happens Tuesday. This is a trade idea that I'm keeping in my back pocket for when I get the news headline Russia and Saudi Arabia and OPEC agree to a production cut of 15 million barrels, whatever the number is. When I get that news headline, I'm going to go right to OXY and I'm going to look to buy this on a breakout of this descending triangle pattern. And your targets, your target should at least be up around that $19. I think maybe in 1 to 2 weeks, we can see that move on OXY. Okay, could also be a really good swing trade opportunity if we get down to $10 tomorrow, Tuesday, and that area holds. So that's something that you guys can keep an eye on for OXY regarding oil. And then the safe oil play, which is my favorite oil company that I'm adding to, and that is Chevron. The reason why I'm adding to Chevron is simply because of the dividend. In my long term portfolio, Chevron offers a very, very sexy dividend. And this is a company that has the cash, has the balance sheet to withstand cheap oil prices. They're not a small company that has issues and liquidity concerns and cash concerns and balance sheet concerns. Chevron has a very strong balance sheet. They've got a great dividend. They will be fine when this is all over with. And while the markets may bounce around for a little while, the high growth names are not going to give you the real big extension moves like we were getting in 2019. So while the markets are choppy and going sideways, I want to I want to buy stocks that have big dividends so that I can be accumulating bigger and bigger positions with my dividend so that when the markets do finally recover, I think, and maybe, we do make our move higher, I have much bigger positions in the names that give me the dividends because I'm just going to take the dividend and reinvest it back into my position. So Chevron is one that I'm adding to my list. I have not added to Chevron yet in my long-term portfolio, but with this news with oil, the big gap down, very, very good chance I might add to Chevron in my long-term portfolio tomorrow or maybe Tuesday. Very, very good possibility. You guys see that? If I do, I will let you guys know on my video, my trade recaps that I post every day on YouTube. I'll let you guys know. Okay. And again, if you guys want to be in chat with me while all of this is taking place, you can do so. Okay. If you guys want to ask me questions like this in real time while the trades are taking place and you want to know what I'm trading, just come and chat with myself, Jason, the rest of the crew. So don't forget, guys, use the coupon code TTGBM2020. That'll get you a 30% discount on the 1-year membership, access to the chat room where I show you my screen. You know exactly what I'm doing. I'm on the microphone. You can DM me. You can talk to people in chat. Okay, all of that is included, as well as the courses. The entire curriculum is included for free with your membership with the coupon code TTGBM2020. 30% discount, less than a cup of coffee a day. It's the smartest thing that you guys can do, especially during a time like this and in the market that we're in right now. Um, and then, of course, if you sign up within the next now hour and a half, because you're running out of time, guys, at midnight tonight, up until midnight tonight, if you sign up for TTG, you get a free one-on-one mentor session with myself or Jason, whichever one you guys prefer. So do not forget about that. Okay, so that kind of concludes my part of my watch list and my game plan. Jason's got a couple of ideas that he's looking at regarding the real estate sector, some inverse ETFs on real estate. So I'm going to let him now talk to you guys a little bit. And as he talks about a specific stock, I'm going to pull it up on my chart because we don't have a video connection with Jason tonight. We just have him on audio. So I'll pull up the chart as he talks you guys through. So Jason, go ahead, bro. Why don't you go over with them kind of your game plan, what you're looking at?
With everything going on, obviously there's a tremendous amount of stimulus that's being put into the market, right? People are going to get checks for $1,200 per person as long as they make up. I don't need to go into it. You guys have all heard all of that. So, what does that mean? All right. I mean, is it going to make a dent? Let's take a look at business, for example. Okay. Restaurants are really tough area as it is. 90% failure rate. Most of those companies are not going to survive, right? I'm using this as an example because it's a very large workforce. Some of these people have houses. Think of all the industries where people are being laid off. If you work in the airline industry, you're probably being laid off, and on and on and on and on. So, if we go back to 2008, right? The 2008 collapse was due to mortgage-backed securities. It was a housing failure. If we look now, right, corporate debt is twice as high as it was back then. Student loan debt is over $1 trillion. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. People, even with deferments in mortgages, it's not going to be enough. And it's not a deferment where it goes, you just tack on like another 3 months to your mortgage. No. In 3 months, you're going to have to pay your total mortgage, for every month. So if you've got a $5,000 mortgage, in 3 months, you're going to have to pay $15,000. Really simple. There's a lot of issues in housing, and that's going to create a domino effect with mortgage companies that bleed into banks, financials, and everything else. So my long-term trade idea is to start getting long in some of these inverse ETFs. So, one of them is DRV, which is the Directional Daily Real Estate Fair.
What's the one, Jason? DRV? What's the ticker? Jason.
Derek Roger Victor.
Yep, there it is. I'll pull it up. I got it up on the chart for him now.
Pretty much still at its high, right? It hasn't been, like, what's going on hasn't been priced in yet. It's kind of like, we know that it's lower, but right now it's like it just hasn't worked itself out. I kind of look at it as an investment I made a couple of years ago was into wine, right? So when all of the wildfires were going on in California, Napa and Sonoma, I started buying tons and tons of wine as the fires were going on because the wine was still the same price. You know, a week, 2 weeks later, all of a sudden the price of those bottles of wine were jumping up. Okay, once people started realizing, you know, what have we gotten in the last 2 weeks in terms of employment and job numbers? Number 3 million, 3.2, 4 times higher than the biggest, high ever. So it's 6 million joblessness, Mike?
Oh God, we had 3.28, and then 2 weeks ago, and then last week was I think 6.6.
Kind of like how we were talking about the athlete that broke his leg. This is going to take a long time to heal, but in the process, if we had 10 athletes that broke their leg, not every one of them is coming back.
Right.
So I think you're going to start to see a lot of people defaulting. Now you're hearing about people going on rent strike. We're just starting to hear rumblings of that. So that's going to affect commercial real estate. The thing that I assume always is people always buy more than they can afford.
Yep.
That's just kind of the American way. I call these people the 30K millionaires. They're making $50,000 a year. They're driving a $50,000 BMW.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. I have friends that have mortgages that are higher than mine, or were higher than mine, I should say, that don't make nearly what I make. So we have a lot of fiscal irresponsibility in the United States.
Yeah.
And nobody was ever prepared for this. When the average American can't afford a $1,000 emergency bill, how are they going to afford paying for their mortgage? And remember, also, in 2008, restaurants were still open, like nothing was closed down. We are completely off. We're not even trading in the textbook anymore. We're writing a completely different book. So I think it's just going to kind of be a domino effect. So if you look at this one, DRV, it really hasn't moved. It's been pretty steady. We did have a little bit of a spike, but I think as things get worse, this could be one where it makes a significant jump.
Yeah, you think that maybe this could be that first rally that it had in March when it went to 70 was kind of the panic like you had with the overall markets, but then once like things become real, once people start defaulting, once people stop paying their rents, then it's like you have issues will start to develop in the credit markets as well when that starts to take place, and then that could actually give you another move in these real estate related stocks that could take you well back up towards those highs, even though like some of the leverage ETFs like the TVIX on the VIX, this is different from that. Like this is not, the VIX is very, very different from what we're talking about with some of these with these ETFs. And once you start to see people stop paying their rent, stop paying their mortgages, you start to have defaults and issues in the credit markets, and that can send these things screaming.
And if you pull up SRS, I think it's SRS. So Sam Riley.
Yep.
Sam.
Yep. The ultra short real estate.
Like 2008 on that one. I think you can go back to 2008 on that one. Yeah, so look, I think that the move on DRB was just kind of a reflex, right?
Yeah.
But it was a reflex, like, okay, bad stuff happened, but then we've got a bunch of stimulus, and then people are at ease, and they're kind of asleep at the wheel.
Right.
gotten any bad real estate news. And trust me, I've been checking. So now the only thing that I saw this weekend was banks are no longer giving mortgages for these insane properties, like $50 million homes, or, you know. So how far back can you?
I can take this thing. It's tough because it had splits. It split 3 times, so the chart's going to be
Okay.
is going to be all screwed up. But in 2008, the thing went to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in 2008, we didn't have people not working.
Right.
You know, we're possibly looking at 20% unemployment.
Yep. We were like 8 or 9 in 2008.
So, you know, these could be something that you watch. Like I won't necessarily buy the option in this. I might. This might be something to just kind of hedge, especially if I'm, you know, if I've got a real estate position that I'm just kind of stuck in.
Right.
You know, I look at this as kind of an insurance policy, but this is also going to bleed into home builders. It's going to bleed into the financials, which is XLF. Things have been I mean, this type of scenario is why these vehicles were created.
Yes. These vehicles were created for the hedge for moments like this.
This is their Super Bowl.
Yep. Very, very true.
And there's never been a scenario like this. So that's why I like a bunch of these real estate, and there's more of these companies, you know. And I'm doing a blog post on TTG to go over a bunch of them, you know. And I'll tell you what kind of triggered this for me. So I was talking to one of my friends, and she does Airbnbs. She's a super host.
Okay.
And we were just talking about, you know, what's going on, and you know, it's crazy. And she does like small properties. Her properties are for the most part paid for. But she was telling me that she knows other super hosts because there's like, you know, an Airbnb super host community. Some of these people are carrying 10 mortgages or more.
Oh my God.
Coming in. And that's just and that's a small area, but when you have to choose between feeding yourself, making payments to the bank for your car, you know, like feed your family, or I mean, that's exactly what we saw in 2008, which caused the collapse. Once the default rate starts speeding up, then it's kind of game over. And especially if we don't get a handle on what's going on. You know, so I don't think that, I mean, I'm being very patient with this one. And look, it might not be the home run that I'm looking for, but it might be like a double or a triple, right?
Right.
So this is one to, you know, this is one area that I'm really looking at. You know, as well as on the private side, looking to possibly buy real estate, you know, if you have the means.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Something to keep in mind. And look, and this is something that in TTG we go over. You know, obviously we talk about stocks, but we're also providing just because investment ideas. And you know, like I feel I have no issue sharing like what I'm doing in the private markets as well as the public markets. So that's one. So long term, or let's go short term, because you mentioned Apple and this little Um, so Apple has been kind of bouncing in this area. I think if, let's say, tomorrow we push to 246 and we have a break at 246 to the upside, while I don't believe in the move, I do believe in the channel because I've traded it so many times.
Yep.
And it's made this move to 257, 258 with consistency and failed. So, like this week in TTG, I think on Tuesday, we got into Apple 247.50 puts. I think we first entered at 277. We were a bit early. Averaged down at 218. I even grabbed some at 175. That option ended up being a $10 by Friday.
Yeah, that was a sick trade.
From the if we look at it, if we just bought that high, it was still a 3-bagger. But it's been consistent, right? So Apple is an option that I'll be looking at. If you're new to options, like I always tell people, a good option to learn on where it's a cheap option and you're not going to get like a crazy move is U.S. Steel. I like U.S. Steel for the long-term portfolio, kind of like American Airlines. It's one of the oldest companies on the stock exchange. I think it was first on the exchange in 1906. And the reason I like U.S. Steel is because after any kind of calamity in the economy where the middle class gets worked, which it's going to get worked here, the thing that always brings it back is infrastructure projects.
Yep. And you remember Trump was talking about with interest rates at 0, now's the time to do a $2 trillion infrastructure bill.
If they do that, U.S. Steel will benefit. It also has a dividend, which I like. So it's one that you can get long. So I'm looking at that. I mean, I'm adding it consistently to the long-term portfolio. And, one thing I'm doing with some of these options trades, because a lot of them have been really profitable, I'll take a third or half of the profit and just buy stocks that I think are going to be around in 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'll give that alert in chat, like, hey, added this long-term portfolio. Okay, and now I'll give you 2 Vice stocks that I like. I like Constellation Brands, which is STZ. So if you can pull that one up.
Yep, got it up.
Z has basically been for the last year a $200 stock.
Yeah, consistent.
And it's at 124. I think that there could be some more downside, so I'll be slow to get into that. Alcohol is not going anywhere.
Nope. If anything, they're benefiting from it, man. I know between me, my friends, my girls, her friends, everybody's drinking more being stuck at home than they ever have normally. You're talking about, people that maybe go and they buy 3 or 4 bottles of wine to have in the house. Now people are going, they're buying like 15,
Yeah. And just because they're the makers of Corona, doesn't mean they won't recover.
Right.
I also, and one of the reasons I'm even looking at them is because of their position with canopy growth.
Right.
Which, look, a lot of people say, oh, they put so much money into canopy. One thing that people forget is they bought 9.9% of canopy when it was $7. All right? They killed it on that. So they're actually up on the trade if you look at it. Another vice stock would be Bud. You know, the same way for American Airlines. Bush is not going anywhere, and it's 50% off of its high.
Which one you said? American? Which one did you say? I can't hear you.
UD. Bud.
Oh, Bud. Yes. I have it up.
Okay. So yeah, look at Bud. It's crazy, right? It's sitting at 43. That's another one you can get into slow. That might not be a bad one for a long-term option, even though, you know, Mike and I share the idea that, you know, I really don't like to get long-term options, but I think this one might be a good one if you can manage to stay somewhat active in it. You know, where if it pops, you sell a little, and then if it drops, you can reload. You know, the idea there is to make your average as pleasing as possible and have an insurance policy on that trade. Okay. So, Square. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about Square, right? It was at $40.
Yep.
For the long term. This is another one for the long term portfolio.
I love Square.
It made an absolutely beautiful move. It's going to be choppy.
Went all the way up to 60.
It made a 50% move. I think when we talked about it, it was 38.
Yeah. It went all the way. Yeah. Yep.
The company that I like, which I also discussed, was Paychex. And Paychex made a similar move. It gave, you know, a good amount back, but they're pretty much running at capacity, and they're another one that'll be a really good long-term hold. So the symbol is PAYX.
Okay, got it up. All right.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. You know, for right now, everything develops. You know, the beauty of what we do is we're watching, you know, so much of the market. And for me, I'm looking for causality, right? You know, like cause and effect. What domino is going to knock down the next domino? And, you know, where is the trade in there? And, you know, the company that's going to be around in 10 years. And then also, obviously, I have to talk about this because I still love it. It's Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, God, yeah, me too.
So I really like Berkshire Hathaway. You know, it's basically like owning a mutual fund or an ETF, just better run. Is, you know, one that you can get long in. And I have no problem, like, just, you know, this is one where I will profit into it all day. If I could get it under 170, great. It has if things get really bad, it has the potential of going all the way down to 125. But happy just kind of scaling into it as it goes. It's exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yes, because because I'm the Wolf of Weed Street, I should talk about weed a little bit, huh?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Okay. And I talked about this earlier. I don't think it's the time to necessarily get long. I think that really the only way to make money in pot stock is by playing the option. You know, one thing that I've been doing since last year is when they make big moves, I buy puts because with consistency, every time they've made a big run and had a big pop, it has been faded. Okay? So I like that. I like Trulieve and I like Curaleaf. I like them a lot. I do not like them for a long-term hold right now. If you put a gun to my head and force me to buy a pot stock right now, I would find the most illiquid pot stock that has not moved and buy that one versus buying Trulieve or Curaleaf. And the reason being, they have massive share unlocks coming in the summer. And they do not have the liquidity in the average volume that can support the type of pressure that they are going to be under. So Trulieve, I think, is at $9 right now. I think it could very easily be under $4 in the blink of an eye. But I also think that is probably going to be the biggest cannabis company in North America. Not the biggest company in the space. There's some private companies that I think are going to do really well. Like, I know there's a private company that's doing $100 million in revenue that probably none of you have ever heard of. And it's not public yet. I don't own a position in it. I'm really jealous because I didn't get into the private placement. The name of that company is Hemptown. You could go to on YouTube and type in Hemptown and check it out. You know, there's going to be a lot of companies like that, but if you're looking for long-term investment in the space, you want to start looking in the summer, and you want to be positioned in the companies in the United States, not Canada. You know, I think out of all the companies in Canada, I was just going back and forth with somebody on Twitter, I would maybe only buy 4 of them right now.
Yeah.
The ones that I would buy are the ones that have enough cash to make it the next year, which basically puts that number, the prerequisite number, down to like 3 or 4 companies.
Yeah. I agree, man.
That's all I got for you.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're definitely on the same page. But yeah, guys, I think I guess that's it. I think that's it. I guess we will. So that kind of covers, guys, our Jason and our thoughts on kind of our game plans moving forward here. We'll see if this gap up on the futures, the S&P futures holds. A lot can happen between now and the opening bell. We'll see. We're looking pretty good right now, but we'll see if we can hold into tomorrow. What about my long-term portfolio? What about my long-term portfolio, Stockman? What is it? What would you like to know specifically? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff that I'm looking to add. Sure. Okay. So, Chevron was one of them. Okay, so I was talking about Chevron, about how that is that's one that I'm looking to add as far as the oil sector is concerned. I love the dividend on Chevron, so that's one that I'm looking at. I have not added to Chevron yet, but I will be. Okay, this big gap down in oil should hit all the oil names Monday, Tuesday. I would look to then probably get long Chevron. I love their dividend. They got a good balance sheet. Um, I'm looking to eye that one up mainly for the dividend. Okay. I'm also going to say, like I said earlier about Boeing. I'm going to be looking to add to Boeing. There is one stock in particular that I'm trying to add to that has gotten away from me 3 times over the last 2 years that I've tried to buy, and it's gotten away from me. And I will take you guys TNDM. Okay, TNDM. I like this company. Diabetes. I like this company. I tried to buy it down here in when it got to 50. I was too slow acting on it the day that I tried to pull it in on my long-term portfolio. It bounced back all the way to 70. I am looking to get long TNDM if this gets anywhere near 50 again. Okay. This will be a higher risk play. Okay. Whenever you're getting into healthcare, biotech, anything that has drug treatments, drug therapies, medical device things, FDA trials, like all of those things will be higher risk. Okay, you can have something terrible happen, and all of a sudden the stock gaps down to $30 on some kind of FDA news, or you just never know. Okay, but I love the company. I think they have a very bright future. I think within the next 5 to 7 years, this is a $150 stock. Um, I do like this company, and I will be looking to add to it. Okay. I do like this company. I will be looking to add to it. I already added to Home Depot. I already added to JP Morgan. Okay. I already added to JP Morgan. I already added to Johnson and Johnson. I love Johnson Johnson. I got a good I got a good feel on Johnson Johnson right around 120. So I'm long. I added to Johnson Johnson around 120. I added to all of my tech names. What I'm basically going to be doing at this stage, Um, some companies that I've not added to that I still want to is Starbucks. I would like to add to Starbucks. Um, I have not entered my position on Starbucks yet. I like it in the 50s. I haven't done so here yet, Stockman, but this is one that I am going to be looking to add. If you guys missed my I did a live stream a couple weeks ago when I started adding to my tech holdings. The tech holdings that I added to, I'll just run through them because there's a lot of them. I'm heavy tech. My holdings in tech include Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Disney. These are all the companies I added to. I own more than these in the tech space, but these are the ones I added to. I'll start over. Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Disney, Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, which is NVDA, Qualcomm, QCOM. Okay. Those are the tech names that I have added to so far during this drop. I've also added to Boeing. I've added to Home Depot. I've added to Johnson and Johnson. I've added to JP Morgan. I'm going to buy Chevron, and I'm looking to buy TNDM and Starbucks. All right. Anybody else? That kind of wraps up and concludes. Um, where can you find 100% accuracy? When you say accuracy, what do you mean 100%? Like what? 100% accuracy in trading?
You find out.
Oh God, that's not even possible, guys. There's nobody in the world can be right 100% of the time. Anybody that tells you that they are right 90% of the time, I have a 95% win rate, is completely full of, I don't like to curse on this channel, but they're completely full of crap. Completely full of crap. Guys, I received a Trader of the Year award at a hedge fund. I'm a professional trader. I earn a very nice living. It's allowed me to invest in other businesses, become a serial entrepreneur. My win rate is about 70 to 73%. And that's really, really good. Anybody that tells you, oh no, man, I'm right 90% of the time, my win rate's 90% of the time, is so full of it. Run away immediately. Run away immediately. Guys, listen, seriously. You do not have to sign up for Two Training Group if you got this is not TGG is not for everybody. Okay. I spend the time to give real one-on-one mentorship. I like my group nice and tight knit. I know who all of our members are. I talk to all of our members one-on-one. I really genuinely care about people's success. But even if you don't get your education from True Trading Group, please make sure you get it from someone that is an actual professional trader, not somebody that is selling you a BS dream, somebody that claims to have some gimmick. They've unlocked the keys to the stock market. They've got some special secret pattern that nobody knows about but them. Somebody that tries to flaunt, oh, I got a 90% win rate. None of that exists. Take it from somebody that's been on Wall Street, traded professionally. There is no secret to the stock market. There is no special pattern. We all see the same exact charts. I see the same charts that you see. Top trader at Goldman Sachs sees the same charts that you see. There's not a special indicator that successful traders have access to that you as a member, you just have to, if you just pay somebody enough, they'll give you that secret indicator. There are no shortcuts in this game, guys. The only way for you to become consistently profitable is for you to get a professional education and actually put in the work. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to sign up to any membership anywhere, no matter what their win rate is, and think that in 1 month's time, you're going to become a millionaire, or in 1 month's time, you're going to be able to quit your job. It's not realistic. And anybody that feeds you that nonsense is just trying to take advantage of your desire to learn this skill. And it pisses me off because there are people that truly want to learn this, and you should have access to the education and knowledge to do so. If you wanted to go become a real estate agent, you have access to real estate courses and classes that give you the education you need to become a successful real estate agent. So why is that? Why would it be any different if you wanted to become a successful trader? But people that flaunt those things to you, people that shove their car in your face, people that show you their mansion, these are people that are selling you a lifestyle and a dream. They're not actually showing you how to achieve your goals. And the only way you're going to do that, and everybody has their own goals. Some people, their goal is to make $1,000,000 a year trading. Other people, their goal is just to make a couple extra $1,000 a month, just to put some extra money away and take the family on vacation. Everybody has their own different goals. But regardless of what your goal is, a professional education will get you there. Trying to, someone's gimmick or someone that's going to flaunt, I'm right 90% of the time, or I've got 3 special secret patterns is such BS. It's BS. Do not fall for it. Even if you don't sign up to TTG, I don't care. Just don't fall for that. Make sure you get your education from somebody that knows what they're talking about. All right. If you guys are new to my channel, just go on my YouTube channel, watch my videos. Every single video, I give you multiple lessons, both technical and mental, for free. It's just on my YouTube channel. Anybody can watch them. Okay. That is just gives you a little bit, that gives you just a little bit of an insight to the type of education that you receive at TTG. At TTG, you are getting the same information that I got when I worked at a hedge fund. I sat in a classroom for 3 months. I've taken that, simplified it. I've created the courses. That's what I implement in my trading. I teach our members to implement the same information. That's it. So you guys go on the YouTube channel, you watch the videos, you hear how I explain certain things. You hear what I put emphasis on. You hear what I try to avoid. You hear how things come together. That is about 15% of what you guys are going to learn once you become a member of TTG. I can't obviously if I was to make YouTube videos of the entire course curriculum, my videos would be 10 hours long. Okay. But for the sake of the YouTube channel and for putting stuff out there, I always want to give you guys lessons, whether it's technical or mental on the channel. That's the type of information that you're going to get as a member of TTG. Just make sure, even if you decide, you know what, this guy, Mike, he's an asshole. I don't like him. Okay, whatever. And you decide you don't want to join True Trading Group, just make sure that whoever it is not feeding you some pipe dream BS that's just trying to take advantage of your desire to learn. Just make sure it's legit. Make sure that you're actually getting an education. There's a lot of people that are members of TTG now that came from other groups where they were showing them where they were showing them the lifestyle rather than showing them education. They didn't give them one single ounce of education. They just said, look at my car, look at my house, follow me, you can do it too. And then once you sign up, you realize, okay, well, now show me how I can get that car and get that house. And they don't give you any education. They just say, well, just follow me and you'll be able to do it. That's BS. Okay, that's BS. You're never going to achieve your goals if you need somebody else in order to maintain your level of consistency. You need to actually learn. You know that saying, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. That saying's real. And that's what education really is about. Once you get an education, you can take it. And like I said, you don't have to trade exactly like I do. We have a lot of traders in TTG that don't ever trade what I'm trading, but they take the education, and because it's a real education, it's not a gimmick. You can apply that education across your own strategy. You don't have to trade like I do. You could if you want. I teach people, I show people what I'm trading, how I'm trading, and everything. I explain everything, but you can take the knowledge and the education, the understanding, and apply it to your own strategy, even though it's different than mine. Okay. So that's the difference between a professional education and a gimmick. Whatever you do, guys, even if you don't sign up tonight, you have now 50 minutes left. 50 minutes to sign up to get the free one-on-one mentorship with myself or Jason. The 30% discount with coupon code TTGBM2020. That's live for the month of April. But you only have 50 minutes left to get the free one-on-one. But even if you guys don't take advantage of that offer and join the family, and you join somebody else and you get education, or you choose another mentor, please make sure that they're actually giving you an education. And they're not just telling you, well, look at my car, look at my house. Just be smart about it, please. Okay, guys. So that's it. I think that kind of finishes out our live show. Oh my God, it's after 11 o'clock though. So we've been doing this now for almost 3 hours. So that concludes it for us tonight, guys. We're gonna wrap this up. Jason and I are gonna head out of here. As always, it was a pleasure having you all on here with me tonight, and Jason as well. Time flies when I'm doing these live streams with you guys. It really does. It feels like I was talking for maybe an hour, not 2.5. But it's just crazy. But guys, listen, I know a lot of you have been asking me questions. We've had hundreds and hundreds of people on this live stream. I'm sorry I was not able to answer everybody's question. If I did not get to your question, when this live stream ends, it will load onto the YouTube channel. You guys can rewatch it if you like. But just once it loads up on the YouTube channel, just comment below the video with your question, and I promise I will go back and I will answer each and every single one of your questions. So if I did not get to your question today, I do apologize. It's tough to keep up in chat while I'm also talking and answering the questions. There's a lot of people asking questions. So if I didn't get to it, just comment in the video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and most importantly, hit the notification bell to make sure you guys don't miss out on any more of the videos that I post on a regular basis. And of course, check out the other YouTube channels so you guys get an inside look to the education you get at TTG. Okay. So again, to wrap things up, guys, coupon code TTGBM2020 to get the 30% discount on the all-inclusive membership. Also, if you guys are signing up through Jason, the Wolf, okay, if you guys are part of his Twitter community, if you guys are here for Jason, when you guys check out on the TTG website, just make sure you select how you heard about us, which would be Jason's metaphor, the wolf, to make sure that we track where you guys come from. Okay. So again, coupon code TTGBM2020. That gets you the 30% discount on the 1-year all-inclusive membership plan, access to all the courses, the trade alerts, everything included. And if you sign up within the next 46 minutes, you get a free one-on-one with myself or Jason. Okay. So that's it, guys. Coupon code TTGBM2020. It was a blast having you guys all on here. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream as much as I did. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Jason, tell everybody later.
Good night. Stay safe. Social distance.
All that good stuff. So
Exactly.
social distance, guys. Take advantage of the time that you are spending at home. You're not, you're working from home. Maybe you have some time off. Your business is closed. Whatever it is, you could be laid off. You could be furloughed. Whatever it is, take advantage of this time and make sure you get value from this time. Don't just let this time go to waste. Make every minute of your day count. And if there's ever been a time for you to learn this skill, if you've always had a desire or an itch to learn this skill and to be successful at it, now is the time for you to learn. This is not something you're just going to sign up to a membership. You're going to make $1 million tomorrow. You're going to be able to quit your job. You're going to tell your boss to go screw, okay, guys, coronavirus over. Everyone go back to work. And you're like, haha, see you later. That's not how this works. You're not just going to sign up and get rich within a week or a month. Put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort to learn this skill. And I guarantee you, Jason, myself, and the other TGD moderators in chat will be there every step of the way to help guide you throughout your journey and be able to answer your questions and give you the mentorship that you guys need in order to become consistently profitable traders. It was a blast having you guys on. Remember, coupon code TTGBM2020. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Thanks for joining me on this live stream. As always, it was a blast. Till next time, guys. Stay safe, social distance. I'll see you guys later.